Before Zarathustra, heaven and hell did not exist. There were gods of storm, earth, and war, but no eternal paradise, no punishment after death, only silence and the dust of forgotten souls. The afterlife was nothing, until a man before a living flame dared to name what others would not. We mistook the dark for an ending when it was only a doorway. Fire does not invent what we are, it reveals it. Stand close enough to the flame and masks turn to smoke. Stand long enough and the face beneath learns its true shape. Zarathustra, the Persian prophet, stood before fire, not as a god, but as a mirror. In its light, he saw a truth few could bear. Existence is a moral journey, and death is not an ending, but a test. He taught that when a person dies, the soul meets its own reflection. Every lie, every kindness, every secret thought. And then there is a crossing. Your Daena does not arrive to frighten you. She carries a ledger written in the weight of your days, not ink, but intention, not trophies, but the quiet pattern of what you served when no one watched. The Chinvat Bridge, the bridge of judgment. Beneath it, molten fire. Above it, a horizon of radiant light. Those who lived with truth and integrity find the bridge wide and sure, leading to music, to fragrance, to dawn. But those who fed on deceit and cruelty, the bridge narrows, and they fall. The bridge is not stone, it is geometry. Choice after choice, a line forms beneath your feet. Truth widens it. The lie thins it to glass. No guard pushes you. The structure you built either bears you or breaks. Not into eternal torture, but into purification. A fire that burns to make the soul remember what it refused to learn. Around this crossing stand quiet presences. Sraosha, who listens. Mithra, who remembers oaths. Rashnu, who weighs without trembling. No lawyers, only the architecture of your life. Do not despise small fidelities. A single kept promise outweighs a mountain of convenient reasons. Mercy spoken without witnesses weighs more than applause shouted in a crowd. This vision was revolutionary. For the first time, morality had cosmic weight. The universe leaned toward Asha, truth, and recoiled from Druj, the lie. Centuries later, when Persia met the Hebrew exiles in Babylon, ideas flowed like rivers between civilizations. Angels became messengers of Asha. Demons, echoes of Druj. Heaven became not only a dream, but a promise. Hell, no longer chaos, became consequence. When Christianity emerged, the fire turned eternal, the judgment absolute. Islam inherited the bridge, As-Sirāt, narrow as a blade over the flames. Each faith added its fear and its hope. But the seed was Persian. Traditions argued about flames and names, but beneath the banners, the same measure remained. Become aligned with what is real, or be unmade by what you pretend to be. Look around. Every story of redemption, every nightmare of damnation, from Dante's spirals to modern apocalypse, rests on this invisible architecture. We still walk those bridges every day. The fire became our conscience, the paradise, our longing for peace. When we lie, we descend. When we repair, we rise. Even psychology whispers the old language. Freud traced the heat between impulse and law. Jung mapped heaven and hell as archetypes, the divine and the shadow within us. The ancient myth turned inward. Judgment moved from the sky into the mind. You know the descent, the rumor, the evasion, the sweet half-truth. You know the ascent, the apology, the restitution, the clean word that costs. Paradise and hell are not far. They answer to the mouth and the hands, today. Maybe heaven and hell were never destinations, but dialects, two languages of the same soul. When you tell the truth, though it costs you warmth, you light a small paradise around your name. When you betray, you build a chamber of smoke, and then you breathe it. The fire is still here, not beneath us, inside us, so watch what it devours and what it illuminates. If you want a map for the night, keep your word where no one is counting. Apologize before pride hardens. Refuse to feed the lie even when it pays quickly. These are planks of light laid across an unseen ravine. And when the hour comes, and it will, your Daena will meet you, not to accuse, but to mirror. Sraosha will remember what you almost said, but swallowed. Mithra will bring back the promise you tried to forget. Rashnu will lift the scale, and a single spark from a faithful day may outweigh a mountain of comfortable excuses. Cross. If you arrive on the farther shore, work becomes music, and fire clarifies rather than burns. If you fall, the heat is the labor you postponed. And even there, the purpose is not revenge, but restoration. If you fear the crossing, begin with inches. Refuse one lie, keep one vow, repair one fracture. A bridge is 1,000 honest inches laid in a row. Do not wait for the bridge, you are building it now. Tend your inner fire and widen your bridge tonight. If this stirred your flame, subscribe and tell me, what plank of light will you lay before the night comes?